Yo, before I start the video, man, a guy in the comment section has said a 4.6 single overhead cam can make 80 plus horsepower with cams only. Yo, like, yo, yo, yo.
I'm on a new level. I'm on a new level.
Ah. Yo, welcome back to Build Something TV, BST4 channel for short. What's going on, Wingnuts? What's happening? Hey, well, I'm starting to do the disc brake situation. Yo, to get those drums off, whew, that was a headache. All them pieces in there and everything. So yeah, I mean, I was trying to, well, I mean, I got this side kind of done here. So let me take off this wheel, show you. For the most part, it's pretty much done. It's really simple. This is a housing right there, and people cut the bottom half of it. I ain't really cutting that because I'm not going to use parking brakes. My whole thing is to take it back off and put double disc caliper. I'm not going to really be drifting with the car. I just want the look. That's going to be my parking brake, the other caliper. Probably use it like that. But right here, you see there's a gap here. I need to get something to machine to keep this hub centered. So I'm just trying to get to the other side, but here's the dumb part. I got the car closer to the wall. I ain't going to be able to take that axle out. So I'm going to still try anyway, but I know I won't be able to take out that axle. Alright, got the screws out. See, everybody said these hubs pull out. These hubs don't pull out, bro. They dang sure don't. They don't. Crazy thing is they don't pull out. I gotta swing this around like this and kind of get it from behind here and hit it out. See, this is the only way I have to get it out. See how the bearing is starting to come out? I have to knock it out. The bad thing is, you know, this bearing in time is going to be bad. The whole thing has to be replaced anyway. We know that. You know, I know you guys like, oh man, you're beating up. You shouldn't have to beat it out, but this car was in water. And that bearing just is stuck on there. So I've been spraying PB Blaster. Now I'm probably knock it back in to knock it back out. The funny thing is I won't be able to get this axle out. Can I? Oh, I got it out. Dang, I thought it wasn't going to come out. Alright. So, that's the axle. Just the little thing behind it. That out. The bearing is exact on this thing. And that's it. Shoot, the bearing look new, actually. Now these got to go on top of this bearing here. Now, as you can see, I can kind of force it over it, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to use the band file and just season it up a little bit, and so it can just be on there just right. It's just a little bit. I don't need to go crazy. So that's my plan on that. Got the old trusty band file over here. Just gonna get with it and hook it up. So, you know, put a little PB Blaster on it. Now we just go ahead and test fit this thing. And, you know, we just want it to be exact. We don't, boom. That's it. That's all we want. Now, the reason why these guys cut this part right here, because of this lower part right here. When you want to run the park brake situation, you definitely got to cut that right there. But I'm not running it, so it'll go like this. But actually, I have to put this on here, and this little piece here, and it mounts up. It's the same deal, man. It's kind of amazing, kind of how it really works like that. So I'm gonna slap this on and then slap everything back in. And also too, I'm going to need a spacer that goes behind here probably. I'm going to check it out first. I'm going to be taking this off around 4 or 5 times. When you're doing any custom work, you're going to be doing it 4 or 5 times, unless you buy a kit that fits right on up. While, you know, those guys who made the kit, they basically test fit it 35 times to make sure it was a proper fit. So you may see me put this on right now, but it'll be off again. I'm just trying to put everything together and just to see how it looks and see how it fits. Right on there. The only thing is this gap here. Definitely got to get... The guy on eBay sells this kit. And, you know, basically it's a ring that he machined, fits right here, and then the one that goes in the back. Again, you may need it and you may not need it, but you want the hub to be on there properly. I mean, even with the drum brake that was on here, it was on there real snug and tight and exact. So you want it to be exact, so you should just get the part. Plus the guy made it, you know what I mean? It's good to support guys who took the time and effort to make something for us to put on our car. So, you know, it wasn't made in Japan, it wasn't made in China, you know what I mean? He machined it, so, you know, let's support. And that's how you keep the car culture alive. In this video, I'm skipping a lot of scenes, man. I mean, you guys know how to pretty much take off this whole hub assembly and everything. This side took me about an hour. So, let's get back to what I had going on. Alright, so we're dealing with this rotor here. You guys looking at it, oh, you got a rotor, you halfway done. Nope, actually it doesn't fit this way. Now, it bolts up this way. Fits nice and snug like so. And this hub got to fit inside that right there. That's where it has to fit. You got to get it machined. I tried to do it a little bit, and it was working in theory, but can't bullshit yourself. You got to get it done, professionally done with a lathe to get it precisely ground down properly. So my son, he said that he can go ahead and do them at work, so we're going to give him a shot. So, oh yeah, I forgot to even show you the bracket. Yeah, you're going to need that right there. Got to install that left and right. That is the secret sauce to this whole thing. So when you figure out your hubs, then you go ahead to your piece of paper that you get from this place here. Check them out. Check out the website. Always go in there and just click, just check out stuff. So what you would do is, to give you a paper of all the parts that you need. It's no big deal. So thank you guys for watching this episode of Build Something TV, man. Like I said, man, I'm trying to get at this car, man. It's just slowly. We're putting disc brakes all around, and that is the #1 thing you should do when you start modifying your car. Because I am slightly modifying the car, and I'm starting with brakes first before I even drop the engine in. Messing with the brakes, you know what I mean? So check you guys out on the flip side. See you guys. Oh, wait a minute. I gotta go back and talk about this. You guys gotta leave the comments below. You remember what I told you in the beginning of the video? A 4.6 single overhead cam getting 80 horsepower with cams only. Cams only. You guys, please tell that guy that it just doesn't go like that with this kind of engine. It's just not designed like that. I mean, I'm laughing, man, but, you know, man, I'm kind of wasting my time even talking about it because everybody knows I'll put a turbo on it and put boost on it. I get 120 or double, you know, I made almost more than, 150 horsepower. And that's with a turbo. Cam is going to get me 80 horsepower. Nah, stop. Stop, man, this is crazy. I got all of my mechanic game from these small engines. This engine right here that you see, this one has cams in it, double overhead cam. This engine I rebuilt. Then my son went back and double checked and see everything, and then he went and he rebuilt it also. So the cams that are in here are double overhead cams. They are Brian Carler cams. They did not do anything for the motor. Mind you, this is a more torquey, small motor. It did nothing for it in the NA form unless gave it more top end. Because this motor here was made for the Nissan trucks. This is what this motor was for, Nissan trucks. So it has a great bottom end and bottom end torque. The crankshaft alone in this little 4-cylinder here can handle 1,000 horsepower in this little behind engine. Now, the cams that were in it were built for torque, not for horsepower. This engine was built for torque, not horsepower. When I changed the cams out, put the BC cams in it, in NA form, it gave me a better top end. That was it. Now, mind you, I had to put a chip in it, headers, the bullshit. So, 80 horsepower with cams, not going to happen. I don't give a damn. It's not going to happen with a 4.6 single overhead cam. It's not going to happen. And that was the debate on a 4.6 single overhead cam engine. It's not going to happen. You guys, please tell them.